My name is Marcus Bell. I'm 34, though after the last few years, I feel like I've aged decades more. For 8 amazing years, I was married to Tessa, a woman whose energy, laughter, and determination lit up every room and every part of my life. We weren't just husband and wife. We were business partners, best friends, and co-conspirators in every adventure. We built our digital content business from scratch, turning our tiny home into an office, a studio, a war room. Our kitchen table was a desk, the living room, a meeting space. We spent our days in creative chaos, her sharp analytical mind, solving technical puzzles while I handled clients and content, bouncing ideas back and forth between bites of burnt toast and sips of way too strong coffee. We had routines, inside jokes, and a rhythm that made even the tough days bearable. But life, as it always does, had other plans. It started with a simple conversation with our neighbor, Dave, who kept urging us to get full checkups. Tessa always waved him off, proud of her health and stamina. But eventually we gave in. We figured, why not? A quick visit to the doctor just to get Dave off our backs. Neither of us expected that routine checkup to change everything. When Tessa's results came in, the words, stage 4 cancer, shattered the world we'd built together. Even in the doctor's office, she tried to crack jokes and lighten the mood, but beneath her brave face, I could see the fear. The next few months were a blur of hospital visits, medications, sleepless nights, and relentless hope that tomorrow would be better. I picked up a night job at a local grocery store just to keep up with the bills. Sleep became a luxury, not a necessity. I worked by day, cared for Tessa by night, and somehow tried to hold on to the business and our life together. During that dark time, something beautiful happened. Our neighbors, Jerome and Camila, quietly became the family I didn't know I needed. Jerome found me collapsed on a sidewalk after a sleepless shift, and instead of just helping me up, he handed Camila. A retired nurse took me in, fed me, and reminded me what real kindness looks like. Camila's tough love and Jerome's quiet wisdom slowly pulled me back from the edge. With their help and the support of a growing community, I was able to be there for Tessa in her final days. She came home from the hospital for a little while, and we tried to make those days count, cooking together, talking, laughing, and savoring every small moment. 1 week after finally meeting the neighbors who'd become my lifeline, Tessa passed away with her hand in mine as the morning sun crept through our window. The weeks after her passing were a fog. I kept the house just as she left it. Her coffee mug in the dish rack, her glasses on the nightstand. I moved through the days like a ghost, barely speaking, sometimes unable to say a single word out loud. Camila, ever the nurse, taught me a simple signal, a closed fist with the thumb inside to use when words failed, but I needed help. That small gesture became a lifeline more than once. Slowly, I started to live again. I wrote, not just for clients, but about grief, hope, and healing. The business Tessa and I started began to thrive as I poured my experiences into helping others tell their stories, especially those struggling with loss or big changes. 2 years passed, grief became less of a knife and more of a shadow, always there but no longer blinding. I thought the worst was over. I was wrong. One stormy night, as I was closing up at the grocery store, a man in a suit approached me in the rain. He introduced himself as Miles Harper, an attorney. He said he was there to serve me with a lawsuit. My wife, he claimed, was suing me for $7 million for emotional distress and financial betrayal. I laughed, a deep, stunned, what universe am I in kind of laugh. My wife died 2 years ago, I told him. This isn't possible. But Miles was dead serious. He showed me documents, photos, even what he claimed was a recent picture of Tessa. My blood ran cold for a moment. There was a resemblance, but it wasn't her. Someone was running a scam. I invited Miles back to my house. There I showed him Tessa's memorial, her photo, her favorite things, the obituary, everything. Miles's professional facade crumbled as he realized he'd been duped. That's when the police knocked on my door. My neighbor Camila had seen my distress signal from across the street. The police took us to the station, where I explained the whole story. The investigation uncovered a con artist named Vincent Crawford, who'd been targeting widowers with elaborate scams, faking evidence, and trying to extort money. Miles, the lawyer, had been used as an unwitting pawn. Crawford's arrest unraveled dozens of similar schemes across the country. The story made the local news. Miles was shaken but grateful for a second chance. The case reminded him and me that sometimes the world isn't out to get you, and sometimes the right people will stand up for you when you need them most. Life slowly returned to something like normal. I hired new writers for the business. I visited Jerome and Camila more often, no longer out of necessity but out of gratitude and friendship. Every morning I lit a candle for Tessa, whispering I miss you to her photo, but the pain was softer. I learned that grief never really leaves, but love can outlast even the darkest chapters. Today, our business is thriving. I mentor other freelancers, and I help people tell their own stories of loss and resilience. I wake up every morning with hope, knowing that even when life brings the unimaginable, you can find your way back not alone, but with the help of unexpected friends, neighbors, and a community that cares. Tessa may be gone, but her work we did together, the life we built lives on in everything I do. And if there's one thing her memory and this wild, unbelievable experience taught me, it's this: you're never as alone as you think you are. And sometimes, the people who save you are the ones you least expect.